This video covers the chart of the day that's due on Monday, August 27th. And in this chart, you're asked to download Apple stock from your favorite source. We're going to use Yahoo in this video and actually make two charts. And specifically, we're going to watch out for this null point that showed up the first time I pulled the Yahoo data. Don't know if it'll show up this time. And then we're going to talk about this logarithmic scale. A little bit different than what you may have done before. Okay, so let's jump over to Yahoo. In fact, let's start at Google and type in finance.yahoo.com and let's look up Apple stock. Go to historical data, and the time period that we're interested in is the maximum time period. Everything that we have data on from December the 12th, 1980 to August 23rd. And we'll say done. And then we'll say apply. And then we want to download that data. We'll come over here and click on the download file and it will open in Excel. Now if you've been playing Frogger, you'll know the quick way to select all this is Control-Shift down, Control-Shift right, Control-C to copy, Alt-Tab to go to the other one, and Control-V to paste. Now what we want to chart is the date column and the adjusted close column. So the quick way to select those two is click on date, Control-Shift down, hold that Control key down, let everything else go, and then click on F, 9534 in my case, and do a Control-Shift up. And notice we've selected two ranges at the same time. So when we come over here to insert the chart, then we get a chart that looks much like the one we want it to. So let's take that data, right click on it, and add a trend line. And notice this trend line doesn't fit the data very well. A logarithmic trend line would fit it even worse. We could play with a polynomial, but what we want is an exponential. Oh, and I notice we can't do exponential. It's grayed out. And I wonder why. It must mean we have a 0 in here. So I gave you a hint already that if you select a column of that data, do a Control F to search for null, then there might be a null data point on here. I have no idea why Yahoo did that to us. I've never seen it before, and I'm just going to Control minus to delete that entire row. And I'll bet if I go back to the chart, click on that trend line, now that the null point is gone, I have the option to do an exponential fit. And I guess on the original chart that was formatted as kind of a solid orange line, so we can do that here. And so we have a good fit. Aside from labels, I think we're getting pretty close to that first one. We'll go ahead and call this Apple stock. We'll click on the chart, design, add element, axis titles, and primary vertical. And then we'll have a place to come here. And type adjusted close, dollars per share. And you can play around with any other formatting that you want to, but for me that's good enough. I'll tell you what, we'll add grid lines. We'll add a chart element. We have horizontal grid lines. It looks like we need some major vertical grid lines. Okay, that's looking more like that chart, isn't it? Now, as I say in the instructions, don't recreate the chart to get this one. Just click on it, hold down the Control key, and drag it over, and you'll make a copy. Let go of your mouse before you let go of Control. Now, we want to make this one a logarithmic, a semilog chart. which means that this axis remains Cartesian, but this axis needs to be logarithmic. If I right-click on that and say Format Axis, then I can hit the checkbox for logarithmic. And I think that's reasonably close. Oh no, our labels probably need to be low. So if I click on Labels and Position, instead of being next to the axis, let's make them low. Okay. So that's probably enough for Brandon to give us an A on the assignment. Hopefully that helps.